So guys, I decided to jump in and quickly make this recording because there's some things that are going on that we need to have a conversation about. So today I'll be talking about what is the impact of the layoff that they're currently doing to the federal government sector of the economy. How will this impact the housing and the real estate industry? So let me give us a little background on what is going on. We all did the election. We saw what happened. The Trump administration promised that they were going to downsize the federal government. They were going to take out bureaucracy and all that. I know some of us felt it was going to come in a slow way, in a very systematic way and all that, but voila, we are in a different dispensation and we are seeing things unfold. Like every day, I literally have to wake up and just jump on the news to find out what is going on, because every day we get new things, new information, new shocks, let me put it that way, new things that can make you even depressed or things that can make you not to be happy and all that. So different news on every day. So it's a lot that we are all catching up on a daily basis. 2 weeks ago, it was about tariff, but today is more about the federal government layoff. And I think all of us want to agree that, yes, there might have been some excesses in that sector. And I want to say this, in the last 2 years, the federal government was the highest employer. They employed a lot of people just in the last 2 years during the Biden administration and all that. So you want to understand that, yes, there's a need for a cut in different aspects and all that. Now, the question is, how are they doing the cut? How is it going to affect people? Because I believe it's going to be a long-term and a short-term effect on people. So that is why we are having this conversation. But if you know me, you know I talk about everything real estate and multifamily. I always want to know how this is going to have an impact on the multifamily or in the real estate business. So that's why we are discussing this. So first of all, you know, if you have been to DC, you find out that more than 80% or a lot of people in that region are all federal workers. So you can imagine if most of them are laid off, what would be of that state? So I want you to put that into perspective. I remember when I was talking about unemployment, and every time you hear about unemployment, you hear 1% that unemployment has moved, let's say, from 3.9 to 4%. You see that's 0.1% jump. That 1% on jump that you see is literally about 1.67 million people that are displaced. They don't have a job. So that's a significant amount of people without a job. Imagine if we put this into the right perspective, because I know unemployment has been ticking up lately. If we put this additional people that have been downsized into the right perspective, we'll find out that the unemployment rate would have increased. So I'm really waiting to see what the report is going to look like for February and also in March, because I believe this will still continue going on even until March and all that, except something is done. But now let's narrow it down to the real estate. How is this going to impact us? Because we know real estate is about people. Without people, there is no housing, there's no real estate. So it's about supply and demand. So when there's a demand, there must be an equal or more or less supply to take on the demand. So that is the question right here. When we have so many people unemployed and all that, what happens? So let's dive into that. What we are seeing right now is we are seeing a lot of enlisting, especially in the DC area. It has increased about 40% according to the study. It has increased more than double of what it was like 2 weeks back. We are seeing a lot of listing in that region. And what that shows is that either people are uncertain or some people have lost their job and they're looking to relocate or just taking strategic steps. We know that some of them actually quit from the job and some were laid off and all that. So people having to take that decision to selling their house, that's a big deal. And that has a ripple effect on the housing market. So when we have a lot of listing inventory in the market, what is the effect to multifamily? What that does is to bring down prices. So now that is good for anybody that is looking to buy, but people that are looking to sell, that is not too good because they might be losing some equity. So it's going to have an impact because there's more supply than the demand for it. So many listings are out there. So now we'll see prices going down. And you just just need to think about what equilibrium or where are you in the entire process. Are you the buyer? Are you the seller? Then that's how you can say this is a good thing for you or it's not a good thing for you. Another effect is that it can create anxiety. Now people are anxious. They don't know what to expect because every day since the 20th of January, it's been one thing or the other. We don't know what to expect. We don't know what to do. We don't know who will come next. We don't know what will happen next. Yes, were people aware of what this new administration were going to? Yes, they were aware, but did they think it was going to come this way? Maybe not, or maybe they knew. So pretty much up to you. I'm trying to stay in the fine line. I don't want to be political. I'm not here to discuss politics. I'm not here to discuss any other thing but the effect on the multifamily or in the real estate business. That is where my concern is from. So when people are anxious, you find out that either they stop investing to become all pencils down. Some of them will just be on the sideline. And that can really affect investing in multifamily, especially for syndications. People might not be willing to bring on their money because there's uncertainty. And if there's uncertainty, it can bring about depression. It can also bring about recession in the economy, because for there to be recession, that means the buying power of people have reduced or buying power of people has declined significantly and all that. So if that has happened, it's going to affect the gross GDP of the country. So if people are not spending or people are not doing things, then that is a signal for maybe a recession. And we don't want to see that happening and all that. Like I said, it is going to bring about potential price adjustment and all that. So that is good for some area, for some people that are buying, and for people that are selling, that might not just be a good thing, because it's possible that you've held on to these properties for a while and they've accrued equity, but all of a sudden, because of what is happening, you've lost a lot of equity on this thing. So now, what is the impact? Like I said, I'm also talking about the real estate. Now, let's talk about the retail market in the real estate. We've seen that has been going through a blow for 2 to 3 years right now. We're seeing office spaces, they're going through a lot, vacant and all that. And that was due to the pandemic. So this thing started when people were working from home. We saw a lot of people working from home, and office spaces now started losing its value. People decided that, why do I need an office when I have my house? I can actually work from home and all that. So that has also affected the retail business. And remember, the Fed is a business. Most of them are business offices and all that. You find out that there might be an impact on those offices. Let's put this into the right perspective. If the government starts slashing down on the federal workers, it's only a matter of time they'll start going to the contract that they've given to companies. So if that starts happening, they start reviewing or terminating contracts. Most of those contractors have offices that they operate from. They will have to either break their lease or something. It's going to affect the retail market significantly. This is a direct effect on them, because most of these offices are used, especially in the DC market, for businesses and all that. So it's going to impact both the housing and also the retail businesses. So neighborhoods like the DC and all those other surrounding states that are around it, they're going to feel the impact mostly. And for housing, when you have a particular sector shut down or reduce or decline, that can turn around the housing market in that environment. You find out that businesses start to move away. They start relocating to other places. And if businesses start to move away, employees will start to move away. People will start to move, and they will be looking for greener pastures. So regardless of where we are in our politics or in any part, this will have a long-term impact on the economy. But we don't know what that will look like. We don't know if the strategy this administration is doing is the right strategy. I personally feel that, yes, we need to downsize, but in this manner, no, I do not think it is. It should have been done in a systematic, with a process and all that, so that the effect on people and on housing will not be that significant. But right now, everything is just going on in different aspects of the Fed, different downsizing in different aspects. So it's really, really going to affect people. And let's just see how it unfolds. So I just said I need to jump in here and have a conversation with everyone on my perspective on how this downsizing thing can affect the real estate or the multifamily industry. It's going to really be impactful. So I'm just observing and seeing how we can mitigate the risk going forward that can happen, because as an asset manager or someone that is investing in multifamily, you also want to consistently see what are the ways that you can mitigate or minimize this kind of risk. Like I said, real estate is all about micro and the micro economy. For the macro economy, we might not be able to mitigate the risk. There's a limit to what we can do and all that, but we can minimize the risk. The first way for you to minimize is to, first of all, be aware of what the issues are, then start taking strategic steps in and seeing how you can minimize the risk in your investment and all that. Thank you all and have a wonderful day. I'll catch up with you in another post. Thank you.